welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, we're going to be talking about and discussing Autism Registry. Now, if you're wondering why are we doing this, well, for those of you guys who don't have autism, it may not affect you directly, but long term it might. This is exactly out of the German Playbook, where they force people to register by mandatory, and then they use those registries against the people that registered. So in essence, in hindsight, you may not have autism, but it doesn't mean that they're going to use the same system for people of LGBTQ, trans, particularly Latino, blacks, women. We don't know exactly what they're going to do, but as historical context has shown us, it's not always with good intent. So I want to find that out in today's video and find out what is the intention behind this move by RFK Jr. and this Trump administration. Now this video is being recorded on none other than Monday, April 28th at 11:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as of when I am recording this specific video. Now before we do begin, I do want to do a quick community spotlight shout out to all of you guys who have been actively engaged with the channel. I personally do not pick this, but however the AI algorithm within YouTube tells me and spits out an image of, okay, these are what these people are engaged with, whether it's commenting, whether they're liking videos, whether they're subscribing, whether they're watching a video longer. This is what it spits out, and these are the people that I want to highlight from the past week. Now, if you do want to be able to be on this list, just engage, like I said, and you'll be able to be on that list eventually. So let's just do a quick community spotlight. We have Equal 3333. We have Danny Bay. We have Melissa. We have Julian Mack 2070, and we have Barbara or BJW0515. So thank you all of you guys who have been actively engaged in the content and making sure that we were able to grow as a channel. And just thank you, really. I do love you all, and I do appreciate it. Now, if you do want to be notified when I do post and upload, you can go into the comment section below and in the description and follow my Blue Sky account and my Facebook group, and I will personally notify you when I do post and upload next. Alright, so let's go ahead, let's begin. I don't really like long intros, and I'm sure neither do you. So let's just go ahead and let's begin. If you do want to help out and donate, I did provide a donation link, and all proceeds will go to helping out the channel. But it's up to you and up to your leisure. I don't really like to ask for money, so I'm not going to. Alright, so let's figure this out. Alright, so Spirits and Angels, tell me about the Autism Registry. What is the intention by the 45 administration to force people via mandatory to sign up into a registry and tell the government that they have autism? What does this mean long term? Now, there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to view this video. I know that's for sure. And how do I know that? Because people don't tend to view things that does not concern them directly or affect them directly. I just wish people understood just because it affects people autism doesn't mean you shouldn't care, because eventually the less you care, the less people are going to be having a voice for you, be able to defend you when it's your time, when it's your turn. There will be no one else left to defend you. So hopefully enough people will watch it and understand that, like, we have to be the voice for each other, because there will be no one else standing. If we just allow it to only be in that mindset, we don't care until it affects that type of attitude. Care about everyone. Do it now. Don't do it when it's late. Alright, so with that being said, Spirit, let's go ahead, let's take a look, let's find out what's going on here in terms of the Autism Registry, and let's go from there. The first card that we get here, we have temperament. This is the medical industry. This is the violation of HIPAA, right? This is a violation of HIPAA. This is forcing others to do things that they don't want to do. Now, this makes a lot of sense, a lot of interesting, because this is normally a positive card. Where's the temperance card? And how do you know it's temperance? Because you see somebody here with the foot in water, and their foot is more focused in the water than it is on land. The land is only a little tippy tone, right? Everybody knows when you're in water, you're all about grounding, like stability, is stable. But when you're in water and you're kind of your foot, your ankles in it, what it would appear to be, you're in an emotional state. You're in a very flexible state of being, right? You're in a very flexible state. And I'm also getting orchids too as well. Orchids are a beautiful, gorgeous flower that only grows normally in the air environment, right? It only grows in the air. It does not grow in soil, does not grow in water. Instead, it grows on land. But in particular in land, it grows on like a tree, where it isn't direct soil, but it is based on the bark of a tree. And because it's so well draining, but also so moisture holding, that the plant is able to thrive under such specific circumstances. The orchid in this aspect here is in land, and it's in ground, which means it's not in its natural environment, right? The next card that comes in is we have the Tower card. And the Tower card is a very interesting card, because it's with bad intent, right? We're saying this is not with grounding, this is not grounded in realization, it's not grounded in medical discoveries, it's not grounded in certain things. Instead, it's about it's being used against the well wishes of the people. The question is RFK Jr. aware of this, or is he actually engaged in this? That is something that's yet to be seen. Is RFK Jr. a Nazi, or is he not? Is he aware of the long-term plans of him doing this? But regardless, the Tower is here. The Tower card is telling me that this is not with good intent. Because you see here again, I said this is the orchid, right? It's in the ground. And in the ground, it is not in its natural environment, which means the Tower card is saying something is changing for those who have autism, those within the registry that aren't in their natural environment, not in their natural state, they're not being treated as humans, right? The next card that comes in is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is a very interesting card because it means being uprooted, right? Things in your life just being taken up, right? Instead of things coming crashing down and becoming stable, going into the ground, instead things are going up, which means things are being lifted out of its grounding, out of its earth, and it's unstable. There's something here that is unstable. Something's being moved. Something being transferred, right? And here you have the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is a very interesting card because you have red liquid being spilled over by the Three Cups, and then you have the Two Cups here, but you see a funeral playing out. You see a funeral playing out. And here you have is the High Priestess. This is telling me there's some sort of neglect here. There's some sort of neglect here, and I do think that there's going to be, and this again, this video is just for entertainment purposes only, for educational purposes only, but it does feel like there's going to be wrong medical advice that's going to lead to a lot of death, if you will. And so I would take with caution and precaution what is going to happen to those loved ones, especially when it comes to the medical industry. And here you have the High Priestess. This is the mental status. This is the mental state. This is the High Priestess. This is the highest form. This is the form of government. You have it everything and ruling with a fist. But here you have the cross, the plus, right? And here you have the High Priestess, and you have the crescent moon, and the B and J, the light and the dark. And these equilibrium is a harmonious energy. But one thing that people don't realize is that the brain, because this represents the brain, the mindset, right? You see the little like ribs right there on the flowers? Those are like the brain. This is telling us a little bit more deeper that as you start to go in deeper and deeper, they see autism as a mental defect. They see this autism as a mental illness or something that should be cured through using unnatural means or unnatural way of doing things, if you will. And that's kind of like what I'm seeing. This is the type of energy that we're getting. That they're approaching this as a way to dissuade people from understanding what autism really is and how it came to be. And now we have the next card here, which is represented as the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is reversed. And this is interesting because this means lack of containment, the inability to contain something in a very specific fashion. Now let's take a look and let's find out what is going to happen with the intention of creating an autism registry. Now Spirit Angels tell me what is going to happen by creating an autism registry within the United States. What is the long-term effect of this? Does it affect everybody? What's the long-term effect of this? We're going to take a look at the future now. Find out. Now I'm just reading the energy. That's all I'm getting. Women in particular are going to be injured by this, that's for sure. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out now, does it? So we do have a lot of red here. Red means caution, it means root, it means your foundation, who you are as an individual. So what is the long-term effects of this registry? Well, I'm glad you asked. What is the long-term effect? Well, the long-term effect of this registry is essentially very simple. It essentially means that it will define who you are and will register you based on what the government feels that you need to be registered on. So for example, if you need to register that you're a female, it will be registered within the United States and tell the government, hey, I'm a female, etc. That's kind of like the energy what it's feeling like. It's talking about the foundation. It means who I am, who am I, what am I, what do I want from this world, what is my stability, what is my grounding, who am I at the core. But that is what that means. That is why this is so significant, because the registry is exactly that in hindsight. Talking about who am I together, who am I as a person. And the government will define who you are before you get to define who you are. At this point in time, the government's allowing the people to have the ability to define who they are. So if they believe, if somebody signed up for the registry and said, oh, I'm autistic, then you are telling the government that you're autistic. And that's your right. But eventually, there's going to come a time and a point where you don't have that right. The government will define you based on its own pre-contact or what it deemed to be red. I mean, what it deemed to be your foundation of who you are. So you can be actually Asian but look Latino, and they will define you as a Latino instead of Asian. The same concept here. Now going back into the reading as well, we're going to take a look now at the long-term effects of this registry. We have temperance, like I said, it's that foundation, it's that ability to want to be grounded, but not being on the ground, but being more emotionally in turmoil, right? You're in that state of flexibility. Now, a lot of you guys don't realize that water is a very flexible state, if you will. It's an elemental shape-shifting element. And you're probably all asking, well, Chris, what does that even mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. Water can shapeshift into a very destructive force, but also at the same time, it can be something that can create life, can hold life, can give life, can cleanse. It also is something that actually has the ability and the capability to be able to become very calm and relaxing and dribbling. It's really a very versatile element if you really think about it. It can become a very highly destructive force like a tsunami to something that's very calm, it's a calming, peaceful day on the water. Very, very different polar opposite, but yet it's a shape-shifting element. And this is what this comes into here. Is that one thing that may appear to be one specific way does not mean that that is its original intent, right? We have the word believe, and the belief falls underneath the temperance card. I can't help but see on this card it says bleed, right? You bleed a specific color. When you bleed red, right? It's talking about here that we are all together in unison, that we are all the same, but yet people don't see us as the same. Underneath the tower card here, we're talking about the intent. I told you many times this is not with good intention, and you can kind of make out what this is. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what this is, but believe they're BS. Believe and know that they're BSing. That what they're telling you about what's going on with the registry is not with good intent, and we all know this. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. However, there is something really interesting here. With this Eight of Wands going upright in a reverse position, but everything being uprooted, you have the sunflower. And the sunflower is a very interesting card because it moves with the sunlight. It goes where the light is, right? It shifts and turns and goes and goes. So we're going to start to see people starting to turn their head as their life starts to get uprooted. So wherever people's lives get uprooted, that's where they start to turn. What does this mean long term? It means that we're going to start to see a movement within the United States where people are going to be reluctant to do anything, specifically when in regards to the registry, until it comes to affect them. And that's what we're going to start to see here, because we're going to start to see the Eight of Wands here being uprooted, and there's sunflowers saying that you're looking wherever the light is, but instead you're looking wherever your life is being uprooted. So people don't tend to go and act unless it affects them directly. So what does this mean? Nobody's really going to be doing much to help this or to change this because they're waiting for it to affect them, and that's when they realize no one else is left standing to defend them, right? And that's part of the problem. People think that someone's going to be there to help them, and you need to be there to help you now. You need to be able to care about others. If you can't care about others, then you in a way, deserve the fate that you're going to get because you chose not to do anything when you had an opportunity to do everything. You know what? No one should feel pity. Because you know what? You knew better. You had history to base this off of. People in Germany did not. But we did. That's the difference. Here you have the Five of Cups. The 5 of Cups, again, like I said, there's some loss here. There's also some little bit of red liquid. Interesting that we have the word bleed here. It goes back to the Temperance, and that's the cup, right? And here you have the cup spilled, and you have the 2 cups left standing. And those are the 2 cups that were being used here, but yet when you look in the cup, there's no liquid, there's no water anymore. There's no longer that shape-shifting element, because it has been revealed about what has happened. And here you have the door of opportunity. You have the ability, when you start to see things get uprooted, you have an opportunity here to change that. You have the opportunity to stop it from it happening further. Because there will come a time where women will be the next one on the list. They will be the next one on the registry. So God help us all, that hopefully the people see what's going on now, and they see the door of opportunity to change it before it starts going down the list. And here you have the high pieces, right? We're talking about the brain, right? The mental illness. I'm talking about and viewing people in a very mental state, a state that they can fix or cure, And this card is coming in as well as something that's of nothing. This is a bush just flying and going with the flow. People's minds are so bizarre and it's been taken in so many different directions. They don't know where to look. They don't know what to do. They're very confused. But that is the best trick in the book. But if you can keep people in a state of confusion, they're less likely to attack you. I mean, think about it in the National Geographic. When you start to watch animals, specifically zebras, go up against a lion cannot attack zebras when they start to move in a very specific formation. Because when they start to move in a very specific formation with the deeper patterns, they start to create a sense of confusion, almost like static energy on a TV. Well, before we have flash screen TVs, you never know how the big box TVs use the static a lot. Think of it like that. But imagine it all around you, 360, static energy. You start to be confused. You don't know where to look. You don't know where to pay attention to. You don't know what to do. You're confused. And so because of that, you become shut out. You shut out your reality, you shut out your world. And that's exactly how authoritarianism, fascism rise in every country, because people are in a state of confusion. They don't know what to go first. They don't know what to do. And so they feel so confused about the life around them, the world around them, that they shut down and they become so narrow. And by the time that narrowness had lifted, they realized that the world around them is no longer recognizable. That's what's going on here. Underneath the card here, which is the Queen of Cups, which means the inability to contain, they're going to try and contain the next group. So it's going to be people with autism, it's going to be women, then it's going to be old people or elders. But they're not going to be able to be successful with the elders. But here's the old people. They're not going to be able to be successful in some way. I'm getting like there's going to be a lot of deaths before they get to where they have to go. So like, for example, like if they put in people on a train after registering and putting them somewhere, a lot of these people die before they even get there. So the ability for them to contain older people, older folks, would be very minuscule at best. And the bottom of the deck here is we have the red card here, which means I am. What are you? I am joy. I am happiness. I am love. Right? But that's the bottom of the deck. That is what is so far away from us, right? That's what's so far away from us. But what is very close to us? What is very close to our reality of what is coming in the future? We have justice here. Right? And what is so close to justice? Doing the right thing, even if it doesn't help you. And here they're running out of time to do something. You ran out of time to do something, and here you have partly cloudy. Right? Just because things are raining now doesn't mean it's like this forever. We all know when things are partly cloudy, they don't stay in the sky forever. They don't last long. They go, they rain, and they leave. Right? But all beauty comes within the rain, because that's when you see the rainbow. And here you have is the devil. Right? The devil may appear as partly cloudy, and then things may be dark, but there is an escape. There is a way out. The question is, will you escape? Will you escape? This is two males. This is 2 males reverse. This also means your throat chakra. Can you see the way out? That's the question here, because if your third eye color and your throat chakra means I see what I speak. Can you speak your way out? Can you see your way out? Can you speak and see your way out? That's the question I want you guys to contemplate as we start to go into understanding the Autism Registry and what's happening for the future. Now, I do want to take a quick look at the index cards, and I'm going to end off in today's video. But let's take a look. If you are new here, welcome. I know a lot of you guys have just recently joined. If you have not watched my previous video on May 20th, 2025, I highly recommend you go and do so. I've been talking about that date in particular since the beginning of the channel. And I also have been talking about May 25th, 2025, which will be a video that I will be coming very soon. But anyway, let's go ahead, let's begin. And the way this works is that anything that is white color means that it is minor arcana. Anything that's colored means it's major arcana. Alright, so Spirit Angel, shuffle the cards for those of the Autism Registry and the long-term future of that. How will it affect the world, especially globally? I'm seeing blue. Is it dark blue or light blue? I'm getting told dark blue. Getting told yellow. White. This one. And they're telling me a pink. This pink. Okay, I don't know what the cards are saying, but we're going to take a quick look. Okay, so the first card that comes in here was fouled on top of the Temperance and the Tower card. We have all. Right, we're talking about autism and how it affects the registry. It's going to affect everybody. That's why I said to care about it now, not care about it when it comes to affect you later. Right, we have here believe that this is with bad intent, right? You have here justice in time. Right? It means that time is running out. You need to be able to come together and go against it. The next card is yes. Yes. That thing may appear cloudy and yes, time is running out. But don't let the devil fool you into thinking there's no time left. Time is running out, but it's not over yet. You can still do something. Underneath this yes card, which means I am in my truth. I am who I am. And here you have a strike. To cry. You may cry, but you can also strike. You can always attack, right? The door of opportunity here. You can make a difference if you really want to make a difference. The question is, will you, right? You can't make this stuff up in terms of placement, anything else. We have here the High Priestess, the Queen of Cups, the lack of containment and the ability of the mental, right? People believe that, oh, we can wait till the next election. The thing is, you don't have another election to wait till. You gotta do it now. You cannot wait for the midterm election. You have to do this now. If you want to create the change that you want to see, you change it now. You don't wait until the next election. That's how they get you. That's how they do the things they want to do, because as long as they're able to stay in power and be able to remove the people who are disenfranchised, who are not happy, who don't support the current regime, if they can remove those people, guess what happens? They can stay in power, because as long as the people who are not affected will vote continuously for those who are going to affect them later on. But they just need to get rid of people who are currently being affected, and by doing so, they can ensure power and tranquility. Right? This is saying don't wait for the next election. The time to act is now. And now, going underneath the strike card, and yes, we have here two cards here. I just set it up. I said tranquility, and here you have tranquility or tranquility, whatever you want to put, but it's called tranquility, right? I mispronounced it, but it's tranquility, right? Tranquilize, or to put to sleep, or to be in a state of calmness and peacefulness. And here you need to be able to strike the players who are playing the game, because in the end, this is a game. Strike the gamers, right? Strike them and show them that there is no sense of peace, that there is no peaceful action that will be taken under this. Show them where it hurts. That is essentially the only thing we can do, is to strike them head on and tell them exactly where it hurts. So again, the moral of the story is there's going to be a whole group of people who won't do anything, right? Simply because they feel like it doesn't affect them directly. You're going to start to see that in today's video. You're going to start to see a very low view count. See how people just don't care because it doesn't affect them. If I bet you, if I put the registry, people are going to click it. But if I put down autism registry, people are not less likely to click it because it doesn't interest them. It doesn't affect them. So it doesn't bother them. But one thing they don't understand is that is exactly how they get you. Because when you are in a mindset or in a state that, oh, something doesn't affect me directly, I shouldn't I shouldn't care about it. Eventually it will come to you. And when it comes to you, there will be no one left standing to defend you. The time to act is now. That's what the cards are saying. The time is to act now because it's with bad intent. It's with bad intent. Do something now because otherwise it'll be too late. Right? But remember what I said. There's always an escape. But the question is that remains is, can you see your escape? Can you speak your escape? Can you speak your escape into existence? If you can do that, you'll find a way. But again, that's all I'm getting for the Autism Registry and the long-term future of that, because it's going to go and evolve itself more than just the registry. With autism, it's going to go into women, it's going to go to older people, and it's just going to go down the line. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys liked today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share this video with others, and just let me know in the comment section below what you guys do think. Thank you for all you guys for watching. I love you, and see you until next time. Peace out.